Tu as adoré mon plan. Je suis si heureuse.
Hey button pushers, Nick here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Rock of Ages 2, Bigger and Bolder. This is a clever pun on words there. This originally came out in 2007 for PC, PS4 and Xbox One, but was released about a week ago-ish for the Switch, and I was sent a review code for the game, so thank you Sega for that. I've already reviewed it on the site, and the link for that is in the description below. Okay, so I'm going to put this out there right now. This game is utter lunacy in the best kind of way. Now, just imagine, if you will, that Monty Python had made a video game, and you're definitely on the right sort of tracks. You play as Atlas, you know, the statue dude who carries the world on his back, and one day he accidentally drops the world, tries to pick it up, picks up a boulder, and then him and the boulder fall into the world because, well, reasons. This starts off your mission to presumably get back out of the Earth by destroying it from the inside out. Honestly, I'm not really too sure what the point of the game is, but this is probably one of those situations where it's best not to ask too many questions or think too deeply about it. The main story campaign puts you on a world map, starting off in the UK, and once you've cleared the tutorial and learnt the basics of castle smashing, then you are free to roam about a little bit. You do have a little bit of freedom at the start, but you'll have to earn it if you want more. You can collect up new defences that are scattered around the map. They are shown as flags. I'll go into that in more detail in a little bit. Or you can just wander straight up to a castle and start a fight with somebody else. Starting fights and winning fights is how you earn stars and unlock new paths. And there's also golden gates scattered around the map as well. They block your path to new areas, and they can only be unlocked once you've earned the right amount of stars. Once you start off a new fight, you're going to be shown a cutscene kind of setting the scene for the fight, and honestly they are pretty much always solid gold entertainment purely for the utter insanity that happens and the way that they set up the scenarios. The way it's been voiced, the way it's been animated, it's just every time just got me. Each castle that you go to and attack is controlled by either a historical figure or a famous work of art, which just adds to the sheer weirdness of it all. You'll end up facing off against the likes of Richard the Lionheart, William Wallace, Joan of Arc, the Scream painting, Adam and Eve, just literally just to name a few. The battles themselves are fairly straightforward, but you will need to think on your feet a little bit at times because things can get a little bit tense and a little bit hectic. The general idea is that you need to use your boulder to smash through the other person's castle gate and smush them before they can break down your gate and smush you, which is nice and simple. Well, the battles play out in real time, so you both have a little bit of time to lay out defences while your boulders are being carved, so you'll need to scan over the map and find some good places to lay out the blockages and traps for maximum disruption. Some of the items you can place, like the stone wall, are designed to slow the opposing boulder down, but there are items like the springboard trap that can actually launch the boulder off the map if you place it right and then they hit it. That will slow them down enough for you to get ahead of them and start doing more damage to their gate than they've done to yours, which is definitely the scenario you want to find yourself in. You do not want to be in a situation where they have done more damage to you than you've done to them, because that very rarely ends nicely for you. Now, you've only got a limited amount of gold each round, and you can only lay a certain amount of each blockade or trap. So, if you find that you're out of money or you're out of space, and they've already started moving, then you can intervene using your godly powers by chucking lightning bolts down at them. It's a little tricky to line up with the timing, but if you get it right, then you'll do some damage to them, which is always good because that slows them down, and if a boulder's damaged, then it's going to do less damage to your gate when it hits it because it's more fragile. Now, I mentioned already that you need to gather up stars in order to open up even more of the map. Well, completing the main missions isn't the only way to get them. Once you finish the battle, you can go and revisit that same level again and take part in an obstacle race against the opponent. The obstacle races are, well, they're races, obviously, but they take place over 3 rounds, and each round has a different amount of obstacles that you need to get around. So first person to the finish, avoiding the obstacles, is the winner. It's a best of 3 style race, so if you can manage to come away with at least 2 of the wins, then you'll bag yourself an extra star and be 1 step away from opening up a golden gate. Finally, if you want a more chill experience, or you just want to kind of try out the game without the pressure of the story, you can have a go at some of the other game modes that can be accessed from the main menu. Effectively, they're exactly the same game modes as you'll find in the main story, but it just allows you to have a crack at different maps that you may not have played yet. All of the maps are completely open in both the war mode or the obstacle race, so you can do whatever you want against whoever you want, but you can only use the items and the boulders that you've unlocked in the story for this mode. So just because you can access all the maps doesn't mean you can play around with all the items. They need to be earned. There is also a time trial mode, which I wanted to take a little look at for the review and for this video, but you need a Nintendo Online account for that, and I don't have one, so won't be doing that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Rock of Ages 2, and it's just absolute insanity in the greatest possible kind of way. I would definitely recommend giving it a go on whatever platform is your personal preference. As I say, this one I've played today is on Switch, but you get the idea, it's going to be pretty much the same on all of the different platforms. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, then hit the like button. If you haven't done already, then subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. Give me a follow on the social medias and check out the full review of the game. All the details are in the description below. Now finally, hear the music.